For those airlifted out of fire-ravaged Mallacoota, as well as their families who've waited in fear for days. All they wanted was to hold each other close.
When we realised we couldn't get out, probably just before we took to our boat and went onto the river with my daughter who was pregnant and her 3-year-old and my son and his girlfriend. We went out onto the river and that's where it went completely black.
Michelle and Fred Dykeman spent 36 hours sheltering on a fishing boat from the fire that hit Mallacoota.
We were running out of food really and it was getting really cold.
Even on the water, they were in danger.
The scariest thing for me was the grumbling thunder and the wind. The thunder, it was just like rumbling all the time around us. And then we were told, we got a message from someone to say you need to move closer to the land because the lightning started to strike everywhere.
After they came ashore, they had to fight to save their house.
Spent a couple of hours putting out spot fires, trying to save the boardwalk, our favourite walk in Mallacoota. It didn't work, of course.
The CFA firefighters helped save their home when the fire came into the backyard.
I believe one of the guys that saved our house lost his, which is a sad story. So it's been fairly stressful.
Hey everyone, Ben Pettingill here. I'm in Mallacoota.
Ben Pettingill and his family also found themselves stranded in Mallacoota.
It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is hectic here. Definitely not what we had in mind for our holiday, but we're just watering sites down, watering tents, watering cars, watering assets, and we've got family down near the boats ready to go in case this fire does get in closer.
As the sky went black, he took shelter with 6 others on a 5-metre fishing boat.
We all jumped in the boats. We had to have masks on, towels wrapped around our heads, sunglasses on. We went about 500 metres offshore. The wind was blowing, embers were coming past our boat, and we sat there for 3 hours basically in silence and just had the ABC radio on in the boat. A lot of houses had unfortunately been lost, and we continued to watch them burn around the side of the lake for the rest of the afternoon, just one after the other. So it was very scary listening to gas bottles exploding.
Because he is blind, Ben Pettingill couldn't be part of the naval evacuation days earlier.
Unfortunately, because I can't see, I wasn't able to go by boat.
But he's now been evacuated on board one of the Army's helicopters.
All of a sudden, a Navy helicopter pulled up, said we need 12 people, and we're going now. Within 2 minutes, we had goggles on, we had helmet on, we'd had a briefing, and we were on the plane, on the helicopter, coming to sail.
And Ben Pettingill has a very good reason for needing to leave town.
They'd said the roads may be closed for up to 7 or 8 weeks, and I'm getting married in 7, so I thought I'd better get out of there.
It's been an agonising wait for many, including Matt George.
Yeah. Is that her?
Yeah. I just want to see my boy and see my wife, and I just want to get him home. I know a lot of other people are in worse situations than what we are, but yeah, I just want to see him and just give him a big hug.
7-year-old son Jet and wife Claire were visiting family in Mallacoota for Christmas. Low on fuel and with diesel reserved for firefighting vehicles, they were unable to get out before it became too dangerous to leave.
I was afraid that my wife and my young son were gone, and her parents were gone as well. I just thought the worst.
The Army operation out of the East Sale Air Base went all day and well into the night. Bus by bus, evacuees arrived at the town's sports complex for some food and a hot shower. As well as the official fire relief efforts, The local community has sprung into action to help the hundreds of people taking shelter in the Gippsland town of Sale.
We'll bring the camping gear in tomorrow.
Yep, awesome. That would be brilliant.
Cool.
On the main street, one cafe has been converted into a drop-off centre for donations.
It doesn't look like it at the moment, but we're getting there. I think I've got a couple of face washes and stuff, but that's...
Kerry Grattan says over the past 48 hours, people have driven up to 300 kilometres to drop off supplies.
A lot of people are very reserved. You know, they don't want the help. They just need the basics and they're out of here. You know, they're not asking for anything major. They just need a bit of water. So we're sort of having to encourage them to take more. You know, all of this here is for them. These people have lost everything, or a lot of them, or have had to get out of where they are because the possibility of them losing everything is huge.
A lifelong Gippslander, Kerry Grattan says she's never seen anything like it.
It says so much. Like Sale has just pulled together. They just want to do everything they can to help, to make sure that everybody has exactly what they need and nobody's going without.
Double bed mattresses, yeah. Sally picked, of course, she got a spare bedroom and a double couch.
Local real estate agent Leo O'Brien is matching up Gippsland residents offering up their homes with people who've fled from the bushfires and need a place to stay.
I think we got up to probably enough accommodation to house 500 people, you know, and we've probably housed close to 200 in a couple of days. We were looking after the people that were arriving here with virtually nowhere to stay and nothing to stay in.
As the fire weather eases off over the next few days, some evacuees are choosing to return home. But there are hundreds more who no longer have a home to return to.
They've got people who have lost their homes and they may need somewhere to stay for weeks or months until they've sorted out what they're doing. And the next phase of it is I've got a lot of people who've offered, you know, granny flats, self-contained units that no one's living in.
And it's not over yet.